All right, and we are live again every Wednesday. Coffee for closers. How's it going, Marcus?
It's going awesome, my friend. How are you doing?
Good, good, good. Starting the week. Well, actually, start of the week already.
Yeah, we're Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah, we're
Wednesday,
way into it.
Wednesday.
Hey, life gets lost when you're having fun, right? We don't even think the days anymore.
Yeah, I started with like I was telling you, I started with a group, a team, and we do a 8 a.m. Huddle, right? Talk about wins, kind of get that day going, and then it's all about leveraging the team to get that success going for the day, making my calls, and everything. So
What time do you start your day?
you know what, it's funny. I'm not sure if I ever told you I have an engineering background, and forever I've always started from 7 to 12, right, or to 1 a.m. or to 2 a.m., right. I've always done that. I mean, for the longest, but I'm trying with this team. It's all about, hey, let's get things going earlier. So I'm trying to push myself. I'm waking up early, like 7 on sharp, and now I'm trying 6:45. I'm trying to aim for like 6. You know,
It all happens right with how you prepare the night before.
and that's my problem. That's the problem, right? The problem is that it doesn't matter what time I wake up. I still go to bed at 12 or 1 in the morning. And because of that, if I try to push myself, so instead of working on my mornings, I need to work on my what time I'm going to bed, right? Try to figure out how I can push myself to go to bed earlier. And then it's going to be working on waking up earlier, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's just one of
It's
those things.
it's a foundation that really is all about consistent habits, right? And I find,
Exactly.
yeah. But hey, we digress a little bit.
We did.
Conversation. What's the conversation on today?
So today we're going to talk about the no, the like, no, the like, no, and trust
No like
factor.
trust. No like trust. And you know who kind of popularized that token or that phrase was Bum Bum. Bum Bum. Because studies show that so much of what is, especially someone you've never met before, um, you even say acquaintances, but if you want to get trust established, the first thing that always happens immediately is that when someone meets, like when we meet for the first time, we're immediately going to make judgments whether we know it or not. It's like inside it, you're you're and it's bad because first impressions are almost everything, especially with what we're talking about around the subject of top of funnel, around the subject of lead generation from social media. Because whenever you consider what happens on social media, especially if you're doing it the right way, you're literally stopping a scroll where everybody who's on Facebook, Instagram, any media social media style platform, they're just there for mindless entertainment most of the time. Very few people leverage it like we do with creating groups and using it as a CRM and educating and bringing value and posting directly to bring content. A lot of people just go there to get lost. So when they click on something, you're immediately going from this moment of entertainment value to, oh yeah, oh, that sounds interesting. I want that home value. I want that list of properties. I want to see that specific property, whatever that call to action is. So in the very moment, that model then becomes down to what's this first impression, because all I wanted was this value they're giving me, and if that first impression doesn't correspond with that value or it doesn't lay out that value in a way that's authentic and genuine, immediately someone who most likely already has a defense mechanism because of all the solicitation that occurs in this day and age, they're immediately going to say, oh, no way, right? I thought it was this, and now you're giving me this, or now you're asking this. So a lot of that time, I find when you begin on this know, like, and trust model, especially as we're taking it into the context of, yeah, I want to generate leads. I want to build my database. I want to find the lowest cost leads out there. How do I do that? But most importantly, how do I do it in a way that actually influence a database? And there's a couple ways you can do it. Take Krista Mayshore, for example, we're going to get you hooked up so you can do an interview with her. Kristen Mayshore is a digital marketing guru. She found out that one of the best ways to develop that know, like, and trust is to actually saturate her market with video content before she's starting to lead generate. So if you look at her program, when people go and hire her and do her coaching program, they actually have to go through 8 modules before they get to lead generation, and all that has to do about building brand recognition on social media, and all these videos that is laid out. So that community, that area specifically, is getting to know and like them through all this incredible education and value and content around buying and selling real estate.
And and just to, I guess, bring that up to the top, where why is it important to get people through that funnel, right? I mean,
Why
people
is it
work with
important?
you. Yeah, people work with you because they trust you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, everybody wants repeat and referral business. I mean, I want to go work with, first thing you do when you get in real estate is probably call everybody you know and ask, who do you know that I could call, right? Because that's the easiest way to go, is because you've already got trust established with those people. They already see you as somebody that, they would recommend based on your integrity and your character. So they'll naturally go to bat for you. But when you go into the top of funnel, like, this is the way of the future, because really, this is the fastest way to build a database
Hmm.
and continue growing that database. Because what you're doing, you're getting this massive scaling opportunity to be in front of so many people at a very low cost at the same time. So what you're bringing out there as content is so important. What you're bringing out there as people getting to know and like you has everything to do with psychology, and this is where you have to adapt. You have to adapt. This is why we had Nick Niehaus, which I need to hook you up with too if you haven't already interviewed him, from Business Video School, because it actually begins with knowing and understanding that video is no longer just an option. It's a non-negotiable. So how you leverage video has to be almost in everything, like video texting, video emailing, video messaging, Facebook Lives. Like, how else does someone get to know and like you otherwise? Like, reaching through Reach, through Boost, through a bunch of these posts, with leveraging the advertising vehicle of Facebook. So there's great content happening. It's all education. It's all value. It's all relevant to the times we're in. And so as they get to know and like you, and that same thing occurs when we lead generate. If we give them this value, but then we really come alongside of them and bring, an authentic connection inside of that is all about value, is all about contribution, is all about education, is all about making them feel like you're not selling them, but you're serving them, and you're there to serve them continually, forever. Because the key is, if you're going to build a smart plan, your database shouldn't just be for the next 6 months nurture. It should be set up in such a way where they're over and over again getting amazing content from you, and everything that you send is going to be a combination of education and value, but also your personality and your, I love it when people also bring in what they're passionate about, their family, how they serve the community, because that is such an important part of it too, is the likability side of this. This is why it's the like. I want to get to like you. I want to see what you're about, how you interact with the community, what you love to do, what your hobbies are. We crave that, right? We're all looking for our tribe. So naturally, whether we know it or not, the best thing you can do is just be yourself. Don't, I see a lot of people separate, like, their real estate lives and their personal lives. But personally, I'm more attracted to someone that just puts it all out there. I mean, maybe because that's who I am. I'm very transparent with who I am. And because I think the right people find you that way, rather than you try to position yourself as someone here, but then you're doing life here and you're trying to separate it. And, and now with social and searching, people can just find out who you are anyways. So
Exactly.
I like to say, like, let's just put it all out there. This is why I've always loved and been attracted to people that, like, let's say a lead comes in, they just clicked on the ad. The ad said, "What's my home really worth? Enter my address to receive my home value." One gal, Wendy, that works out of Vegas, I've always loved that she had this video that came in that was basically, hey, thank you so much for requesting your home value. I'm actually working on it right now. Thank you so much. Here are a few pieces of information you could give me if you want a truly market accurate value, but you can expect to get one no matter what. And, oh, hey, by the way, I make sure everybody gets to connect with me on Facebook. Here's my personal Facebook profile. You know, and she essentially is saying, let's connect, like
Hmm.
see what I'm all about. And it's not pushy, it's not salesy. It's just her personality, and I think that's the key is you could try to separate that, or you can just immediately get into this position of, hey, get to know and like me, and the trust will naturally occur. I'm going to give you service. I'm going to give you value. I'm going to give you my best value up front. But naturally, I'm not looking to list your home. I'm not looking for you to do this buyer's agreement with me or whatever it is. I'm just looking to give you the best information. And if in time you like me and you get to trust me, I'd love to be your realtor.
Exactly. It's that, what you do when that lead enters your space, your database, that matters. Because if you cannot, I mean, if you try to sell that lead on the first call, and then they say no, and they put that wall in place, that's it. I mean, you're almost lost that lead already, lead that you already paid for. As opposed to if you try to attack it, like you said, from a value perspective, that lead still has time to get to know you, still has time to get to like you, and then
How much
over
of it?
time they'll make that decision.
How much of anyways is just building rapport? How much of it is um, like winning friends and influencing people, right? Which is a book that people should probably read, because how much of it is just psychology? And so much of good, I think agents, the best agents are the best at relationships. They're best at creating rapport. Like finding out things that are more fun, like not always taking the objective route, like, hey, tell me all the updates and renovations that you've done, right? More like, hey, what do you love most about your home? If there were one thing that you would change about the home you're in right now, what would that be?
Right.
Because then they start thinking, you know what, I love a bigger kitchen, and you know, my kids, they're da da da, and we're thinking about doing this, and those are the questions you want to ask, because essentially, like, you want to tap into, things that create emotion inside of them, not just like, well, upgrading my kitchen and put new cabinets in, and some a lot of people will smell that right away when you like is saying, oh, that guy's just trying to sell me,
Yep.
right? And so, which is why it's so important when someone clicks on an ad and they think they're getting something, give them exactly what they wanted, but immediately have whatever automated email or text message be very much authentic and genuine to who you are, and create connection and create the ability to create a conversation. And it should never be more than one question. Because people, if you try to do more than one question, they're just done. One question. It should be a simple question. Sometimes all we want is a yes or no, right? So I think oftentimes people try to go straight for the throat on these leads. And the key to doing lead generation of this kind is to develop the know, like, and trust. And so what I've seen, let's say, for example, um, with today's tech stack that we have, I see a lot of people will go in, and for our program in Street Text, it's built in with 9 months of drip. But the best people go in there and start editing it and customizing it, putting bomb videos in it, adding emails, changing the text to be more personal in their personality. And then they'll also add in and layer it to their own smart plans, whether it's Follow Up Boss or KV Core or Chime, even using Street Text as a CRM, because you can. But then they'll combine with the system, especially in the States, like HomeBot, and then they'll use retargeting and remarketing as well. And then HomeBot, for example, if you open it up with the lender, you get the video content there. So you start seeing where video becomes a part of it all. Because
It's one of
naturally,
those things where you kind of have to start learning to invest in your business as well, right? All right, it's
yeah,
not just about running leads and you're done, right? It's like, what do
you
you do with
gotta.
those leads?
It's lead generation is the easy part. Everybody, even still, like, I challenge everybody, if you're really just trying to do lead generation yourself, then you probably need to shift your job to just being a full-time marketer, or lead generator, because it's a lot of work. Algorithms are always shifting and changing. You should be split testing and A/B testing to find the lowest cost lead. You need to know a lot about specific objectives on Facebook, because there's about 11 of them, and they change depending on the ad you're running. When do you use the lead ad? When do you use the conversion objective? How do you generate seller leads versus buyer leads? because there is a lot of let's just say knowledge and wisdom that you have to make sure you have not an ad that can just perform for a couple hours or a couple days, but an ad that can potentially run for months at a time without having to
Yep.
change it. And then once you figure out, okay, now I can generate leads, now shifts have to occur to naturally say, okay, what's next? It's the experience I'm providing that person, it's the first impression and the ongoing experience. And that experience has to all correlate together and it has to fill. And then some people are, you have to separate it. You start developing, okay, what about the integrations that I need to use? What if I'm scaling and growing? How do I leverage services like ISAs? What ISA service should I leverage? Am I doing call centers, or am I doing training them in house, or am I? There's so many ISA options and VA options, and so there's so many different parts of it. You got to be willing to actually take time, humble yourself, and saying, I don't know it all. Put yourself around a community of people that you can collaborate with. So you're not trying to figure it out yourself. So you can just simply go to those people and say, hey, here I am. Here's what I have. What do I need to get to where you are? Because you're going to learn from all these people that some of them took a lot of time to get to where they are, and you can fast track that success rather than try to figure it all out through modules and training, right? Which is pretty boring. It's almost best to get with people right away, mastermind with those people, and learn early on what are the questions they're asking. How are they getting conversations? What are they doing to get appointments? How long did it take them to get those appointments? What were they doing? How are they serving with these leads consistently? How many touch points before they started getting success,
Right.
other than the lucky ones? Because you're going to get lucky from time to time. So again, when it comes down to know, like, and trust, it's being ready to acknowledge that we are in a time where touch points are becoming more and more important, the quantity and the quality of touch points with you in there. And you need to develop a strategy that includes a video, um, and combines personal touch points, personal check-ins with great automations, and automations that are scalable, and automations that feel like they're just for you. Like, even though the video is made for everybody, it feels like you're making that video just for them. And
Right.
it's combining elements of value, education, and real estate market knowledge with also elements of your family, what you love to do, things that are great in the community that people should check out, your favorite restaurants, your favorite, your top favorite things to do for families with kids, things like that, right?
Exactly. If you get everything out there, they get to really, really know you. And then you drive them through your funnel, at the end of the day, you want that conversation to be about value. And then, and what we're doing all this is because we're talking about top of funnel leads, people that are barely considering, if they're looking into the value of their home, if maybe they're looking to sell, maybe they're not, maybe they just want. But the thing is, if you get them in your database, if you get them through that, that funnel, I mean, they may start referring you other people, right? And that's where you start getting more traction because of what you're doing. Like, just a quick example, one of the things this one guy I'm working with right now is doing is, so he's running leads, he's driving leads, but his focus is on education. So after he gets people in his database, what he's done is he's created a Facebook group. In this Facebook group, he's added a lot of different people that can provide value to users, right? To leads. So he's
Smart.
trying to drive them through there. Credit
Love it.
repair, education about the home process, people that just are thinking about buying. So now he's got a nice funnel, right? So now and we've talked about what the next step should be, right? Hey, get a few people through your funnel, get a few leads in here, start some conversations, and then, hey, retargeting,
Yep.
video. He's already doing ads for some of his seminars, right? He's doing home buying seminars, or just anything about, right? So he's doing multiple things, and he's getting the results. I mean, he's booking appointments, he's getting on the phone, and if you look at it, the conversations that he has, they're all coming from a point of really wanting to help that person, right? And that's why he's getting the results that he's getting. So top of funnel leads, you need to have a good system in the back end. you need to have a mindset of providing value so that you can drive them through that know like trust factor.
Y'all,
Right?
it's all good things, man. All good things come to those who are patient. And, it's just like the metaphor of a garden. Like, you can plant seeds today, but those seeds won't produce massive fruit. Like, the potential of those seeds, what's inside of those seeds, and how much that fruit is, bears from that tree that has grown takes time. Cultivating the
Exactly.
soil, pulling out the weeds, like, over and over again before you become, where you see the harvest. And I think that's the key. It's like you shouldn't be into a top of funnel solution for less than a year before you start really seeing like massive success. Uh,
Exactly.
and if you're not willing to build it like that, maybe it's just not the right thing for you. Maybe you should look for other sources of leads that are more bottom of funnel, and you know, good luck, right? Because it's going to be really expensive. So for people that are trying to grow the most cost efficiently and looking for long-term future results, like you're going to be phased out of the market if you're not positioning yourself this way. And you're also going to be phased out if you're not somebody who naturally loves to serve and have relationships with people. Like, it is not a transaction focused type of funnel, right? It
Exactly.
is truly a service based one. And so it's also going to immediately phase out people that are like just hungry for the next transaction.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So I know you have to go. You have a mastermind, right? Every
Yeah,
Wednesday.
mastermind. So awesome as always. We'll see you next Wednesday for
No,
top
wait, hold
funnels.
on. So the mastermind is open to everybody or just
Everybody. Well, it's going to be for a little bit. We're considering making it like an exclusive meeting for StreetText members because it's just such high value inside of that
okay.
that it is a high ticket event every time people come.
But still open to
Still
everybody right
open.
now, right?
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
still open to
So take
everybody.
advantage of that, guys.
Especially a good meeting if you really want to see the synergy around why this one meeting every single week is what keeps people at the top of the game with StreetText.
All right.
It's it's jumping all in on every phase of the solution of lead generation for an hour, but literally talking to people that are actively closing Facebook deals and reverse engineering how they did it.
All right. Sweet, sweet. So well, if it's still open for everybody, you guys take advantage. Drop that link, Marcus, if you want in the comments. And we'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you, Roberto.
All right, man. Have a good one.